Okay, it looks like the attendees joining in here, it looks like it's slowing down a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started. We're a minute after. So let's go ahead and get moving. Welcome everyone to the Down Payment Resource Growing Your First Time Homebuyer Business webinar. First, I want to thank you all for joining us today, and I want to introduce myself to you. My name is Tracy Thomas. I'm the Customer Success Manager here. If you have any questions, we have a few other team members in the background. We have Keith, Lisa, and Lori ready to help answer any questions you have while I'm speaking. You can drop those in the Zoom's Q&A feature. That would be the best option because they can easily maintain and manage those, make sure no question gets left unanswered. They will also be monitoring chat, but it's a little hard to keep up with all of that. So if you leave something in chat and you don't get a response pretty quickly, then just copy and paste it, put it in the Zoom Q&A feature. I do also want to let you guys know that we are recording today's session. A copy of this will be emailed to you at the same email address you used to register for today's session. So it will usually take a couple of business days for that to come through. So it's probably going to be Monday before you receive that. So don't be concerned if you don't see it over the weekend. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Like I said, my name is Tracy Thomas. I'm the customer success manager here. But today we're going to show you how to start more conversations with first-time home buyers by sharing information that's going to help your buyers overcome their biggest challenge, which is the down payment. We're going to briefly explore the state of DPAs right now across the country, and we're going to look at the opportunity that first-time homebuyers present. But the focus today is really to show you how real agents and loan officers across the country are using Down Payment Connect to enhance their marketing, expand their reach, and match clients to DPA opportunities, and honestly generate some leads. So first, I want to give you a little background about who we are. Down Payment Resource, or DPR as we refer to it as, was launched in 2008 to solve a problem that drove a lot of people in real estate and mortgage lending crazy. There was no easy way to find and track homebuyer programs. So, Down Payment Resource developed an easier way to connect eligible borrowers with hard to find resources like DPAs, grants, MCCs, and other assistance. What we do is we provide tools and down payment assistance program information for both real estate agents and loan officers, but ultimately the consumers as well, to help all of you find and understand the down payment solutions that are out there for your buyers. So today we're going to talk about one of the coolest DPR tools, which is called Down Payment Connect. Some have referred to us as like a match.com for down payment assistance to kind of give you an idea. So ultimately, what we do is we help you connect home buyers to the down payment help that they're needing. So like I said, we're going to discuss a little bit of the state of DPAs and their impact, also that first-time home buyer market opportunity, but we're also going to talk about educating buyers about down payments, about enhancing your marketing to expand your reach, and then we're going to go over some Down Payment Connect peer examples as well, both through the deck and live. So let's start with the state of DPA programs. We publish a quarterly report called the Homeownership Program Index, where we take stock of what's out there across the country and we look at those available programs, at developing trends, and all of the insight that we can kind of muster up from all of that. What you can see on the screen right now is an overview of the types of homeownership programs we track. And you can see right here that about 80% of all home buyer programs are some form of down payment assistance. These come in many forms, as you can see, including deferred and forgivable programs, repayable programs, and true grants. But do note that most DPAs are deferred loans, and about half of those are also forgivable. But we also track all of the affordable first mortgage programs, which can typically be layered with DPAs, as well as tax credits or mortgage credit certificates, and some other less common programs that we're not really going to dive into much today. So it is a very common myth that down payment programs are not available in certain areas. However, that's untrue. Down payment programs are actually available everywhere in both high cost markets and low cost markets, in urban, rural, in every single state also has a housing finance agency. And those programs through that state HFA are available statewide. Plus, there are lots of local programs in each market. And there are income and price limits that are also market adjusted and based on the median incomes and median prices in that market. So you end up seeing higher limits and higher cost markets. What you're seeing on the screen now is showing the top 10 states with the greatest number of programs, but there is literally no county in the country where some kind of help isn't available. So let's take stock at the current DPA trends across the US. The demand for DPAs is absolutely through the roof. And these DPA providers are increasing their assistance amounts, income limits, and purchase price limits to help more buyers in today's market. The DPA providers are expanding the eligible uses of their funds as well as inventory options. And new state and local programs are continuing to be added in markets nationwide. In fact, in our recent Q1 2026 Homeownership Program Index report, it showed that 60 additional programs were newly added in that quarter alone. So there's obviously still programs being added. It also showed that 62% of DPA programs serve home buyers that are earning $100,000 or more. There are also 284 programs that have absolutely no income limits. And as a last little fact for you, 38% of them have no first-time home buyer requirement. So these are common misperceptions or stats that I believe a lot of people don't understand, that there are such varying income limits and abilities for people to utilize DPAs aside from first-time home buyers and things like that. So keep these in mind. There are so many programs out there to assist your home buyers. And all of this is really just to show that new state and local programs really are continuing to launch in markets nationwide. And currently, 77% of all DPAs are funded and available. So that down payment assistance is still available. It's not going away. Now, let's think of the mindset of those first time home buyers. They really want to stop renting, but they don't know what they can afford. And they don't know about down payment help. Oftentimes, they even think they need a bigger down payment than what is actually required. So right now, many home buyers really are sidelined and just waiting. We know it's a challenging time on many fronts, and we know that navigating this process is never easy. So these prospective buyers really need help navigating the home buying process, getting pre-approved for a home loan, understanding the down payment requirements, and getting access to those down payment solutions. And they need your help navigating a competitive market with limited inventory. And ultimately, at the end of the day, they want to win their bids, right? And that's what we're here to try to help you guys with today. In fact, a recent study that we participated in with the Urban Institute that surveyed millennial renters, here's what potential buyers were saying. When they were asked what their biggest barrier to home ownership was, 68% of them cited the down payment as the biggest obstacle to home ownership. When they were asked how big of a down payment they thought they had to have in order to buy a home, 65% of them thought they needed 15%, 20%, or even more for a down payment. And when they were asked if they were familiar with low down payment mortgage options, 76% had little or no familiarity with low down payment mortgage options, much less down payment assistance programs. Many buyers really are mortgage ready, but they don't think they could qualify because of these misperceptions. And they don't know things like you can get an FHA loan with 3.5% down or a conventional mortgage with 3% or 5% down. And all too often, they don't know about DPA programs, but we're here today to start changing that. So It's a confusing time in the market. Education is more important now than ever. And these buyers really need an advisor that they can trust and that they'll then tell their peers about, right? So you may have found out about this webinar through your MLS. If your MLS provides down payment resource, we identify eligible listings in your MLS and match them to all the available homebuyer assistance programs. If you're an MLS partner with Down Payment Resource, we identify those eligible listings in the MLS and we match them to all of the home buyer assistance programs that are available for that particular property. And we provide these matching tools in your MLS agent and client portal listing reports. You also get Down Payment Connect for free through these MLS partners. So check out Down Payment Resource, let your clients know what's available, and then talk to your lending partners about which programs they offer. And let us know if you have any questions along the way. And I will also say, because this webinar is open to both agents and loan officers, I am confident there are some loan officers in attendance here. If you agents are looking for loan officers to partner up with and to refer your customers to, utilize this chat and do a little bit of networking while you're here and see if you can find somebody to partner up with, because I know that's the number one question we get all the time is, how do I find a loan officer? This is a great opportunity for you guys to do that. Okay, so if you are joining us as an agent who is utilizing our tool through your MLS, here's how you're going to find down payment resource there. And keep in mind, this is different from one MLS to another, but you can generally find our tools under products and services or external links. You're going to want to look for either the money sign logo with the blue check mark or that little house icon. It'll either say down payment resource or it might just have a green and blue house, but those are icons that we utilize all the time to signify that it's a down payment resource tool. After you click on Down Payment Resource, you're going to come to your Down Payment Resource homepage, and your personalized Down Payment Connect link is going to be waiting for you. I'm going to show you how it all works next, but this link is unique to you, and you'll know that because it ends with your first name underscore last name, and it's tied to your name, email, and phone number in your MLS profile. Below your landing page link is an overview of the Down Payment Connect tool and also a link to marketing resources to help you get started. If you click on that marketing resources button, you'll also have access to several graphics packages, including social media images, as well as customizable flyers in both English and Spanish. You can find training videos, case studies, reports, and so much more. And I highly suggest utilizing these in your email campaigns on social media, your website, etc. Make sure you're using these though, along with your Down Payment Connect link to help increase your business while educating more buyers about down payment assistance. I'll show you some examples of how other agents are doing this in a few minutes as well. If your MLS, however, was not listed earlier, we also have a paid monthly subscription to Down Payment Connect. We'll get you that information after the webinar. It'll be included in your email with the recording and all of that. But you can also just go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC to learn more. And Lori, would you mind to drop that link in chat for anybody that may need to have that at the ready? But Down Payment
I'm
Connect
sorry, what
offers
was the link again?
the link to Down Payment Connect where they can sign up on our website,
Okay.
downpaymentresource.com/DPC. Thank you. But Down Payment Connect offers you a personalized landing page where buyers can come search for down payment programs where they want to buy a home and connect back to you to learn more and take those next steps. Loan officers, you can also see programs in your market and control which ones display along with additional eligibility tools. Now, as I said before, though, we have Down Payment Connect for free if you're part of our MLS. So don't go to our website and sign up for that if you're part of an MLS as an agent, and you can get our tools for free. But we do have that other option that Lori's throwing in chat for you guys so that you can see that if that's not a solution that's offered to you through your MLS. So Note that there is no limit to the traffic or the leads that you can generate with Down Payment Connect. Once you're sharing that link out there, you can get as many or as few leads as you'd like. It's all really up to you. We're not sharing that link for you. Uh, we're not doing anything on our end to bring those leads to you. So it's really up to you how much you want to share that. And we'll go over a lot of options and ideas today on ways in which you can do that, okay? So a few things to note about Down Payment Connect leads. Like I said, you're generating your own leads in a creative new way with a unique tool. It is for free for MLS partners of ours, but we have a paid version available on our website for anybody else. And let's talk about who gets those leads. No one other than you. They're yours and yours alone. No one else is copied. They're not sold. They're not resold anywhere else. Those leads literally just come to you. Okay. Now, now that you guys have an understanding of what the Down Payment Connect tool is and how you can access that, let's look at really some fun and creative examples of how your peers all over the country are using Down Payment Connect to drive more business and educate more buyers about DPA programs. We're going to visit some of these live in a few moments as well. And also, keep in mind, I'm going to be showing examples from both the loan officer perspective and agent perspective because we do have both in attendance here. But know that a lot of these really can just be adjusted a little bit to make it work for either of you. So the first option is to add the link to your website. Brian in Atlanta simply added a Down Payment Connect link and some basic content to his homepage so that it's among the first things a buyer sees on his website. And it illustrates for prospective first time home buyers and others, really, that he's focused on them too. This is a super easy way to get started with Down Payment Connect. Here's another example from Angela, who added the Down Payment Connect form into a new buyer's page on her website. And you can navigate directly to it in her website's main navigation bar. If you see up at the top, it says Down Payment Assistance. That's where you could go straight to her. So this is another option for you, right? That you can create a tab and have a page dedicated to that. Some agents, however, choose to offer a more educational approach. This real estate broker in Seattle has a section on his site called Advice for Buyers with a special DPA page that is their eligibility search page as well. And what they do on here is they educate buyers about down payment assistance programs, and then the page ends with a search available for buyers to find what's available to them. This is really a great way to give aspiring buyers just a little bit more information along the way, but to cap it off with the opportunity to find out which programs they can use to buy their own home. This is one of our favorites and also includes a lot of educational content. Richmond Region Realty in Virginia created their own long form educational page on down payment assistance with several opportunities for the consumers to click and go to their Down Payment Connect tool. They created their own branded educational video, explanations of DPAs and their benefits, and several links to their Down Payment Connect page throughout this page. It's written almost like a short ebook or article, and it dives into several topics of interest to buyers. And along the way, the buyer has several opportunities to engage with their Down Payment Connect tool. Here's a creative use case from Raul, who is a broker in Austin, Texas. But before I dive into this, I have a question for you guys, okay? What homework or takeaways do you give to your new clients? Throw it in chat. I'd love to see what you guys have as part of that, those first steps in the beginning of that process, right? But what Raul did here is he created this three-step checklist for his new clients. And step one is to address home financing and down payment assistance opportunities. We love this because one of our goals is for down payment assistance to be a part of the earliest conversation a buyer has with their agent and lender, making sure the buyer is getting pre-approved or pre-qualified, and also investigating DPA options. And what Raul did here with this page is he helped connect those dots for buyers. You can do that as well with your Down Payment Connect tool. Okay. This one is such an easy option and it's presented really to anyone that you email or anyone that you've emailed that forwards your email along. Okay, but you can see an example of this here with Sal in California, who includes his down payment connect link in his email signature so that anyone getting an email from him or anyone they forward it to knows that down payment help is out there and can use Sal's tool to find available programs and continue that conversation. You can find instructions on how to do this in the marketing tools link on your Down Payment Connect homepage as well. Now let's look at social media. Raul from Austin, Texas also created a really great social media drip campaign where he identified and answered the top 10 home buyer questions by video. He answered one question a week in video format and posted it on his business Facebook page. Down payment assistance was one of the topics, and the call to action was his Down Payment Connect landing page. This is really such a great way to educate new buyers, but also to keep your audience engaged. Video content is really such a great way to engage your audience. And I find that more and more people are trying to educate themselves by watching some of these short videos and become a little bit more aware. So I definitely suggest doing some video content if you can. Here are a couple of options from social media as well. And I love both of these so much. So the first one is on the left side, right? And it really just speaks to the fact that we understand that saving for a house really is a daunting feat, right? And in this one, they're noting that it feels like climbing the half dome at Yosemite Park. But what they do is they not only recognize that it can be a struggle, but they're letting them know there's a solution out there that could help them, right? Saying that, but wait, down payment assistance programs can be your secret weapon. And within that, they've got a link to their eligibility search page so that home buyers can click on that link, fill in a little bit of their own content, and be connected to see what kind of programs could help them in the area they're wanting to move to, right? So make sure to be relatable in your social media content with them. The other option on the right hand side is one that, as a listing agent, I highly suggest doing this. First and foremost, check and see if the properties that you're listing have down payment assistance available at that location for the purchase price. Okay. And if they do, promote that. Let people know, let consumers know that if you're looking to buy a home, like this one says right here, but are struggling to come up with that down payment, here's a solution for you because this home offer comes with down payment assistance programs that could help you, right? That there are programs available at this property. So make sure to use that as part of your sales tactic and your awareness for promotion. Megan here had some yard signs made for her DPA eligible listings and added a QR code directing people at the property to her down payment connect landing page. I love this one so much because for me, at least, when I've searched for homes to purchase in the past, I drove by before I would even have an appointment to go do a showing at a house. I would drive through that neighborhood and I would want to scan it and see if I liked the neighborhood, if the outside of the house looked as great as it did in the photos and all of that stuff, right? And this captures those people, not only the people driving by, but neighbors, who want their friends and family to move close to them. It's so simple because you can see the sign that down payment programs are available here and not only alerting people of that, but they can scan that QR code and immediately find out if there are DPA programs eligible at that property that would also work for them as a buyer, right? So this is another great idea. I love this one from Minnesota. The Barker Hedges Group launched an entire Facebook page dedicated to serving first-time home buyers. What they did is they have multiple explainer videos here answering questions about saving for a down payment and down payment assistance. They even cover a few local program examples. And then everything is directed back to their Minnesota first time homebuyer website where they can search for programs. You can also see that they highlight real home buyer success stories on their site. And this is my personal favorite way to drum up business because we all love hearing a heartwarming story like this. So make sure along the way you're highlighting success stories too. This is really such a great way to connect with potential home buyers because they're seeing real stories about how DPA can help people. So along the way, ask your buyers if you can mention the amount of down payment help they used, their experience working with you in that program, and then you can highlight that on social media, in your blog, on your website. You can even let us know. We love to cross promote and we love to help spread awareness about the benefits of using down payment programs and their availability out there. Okay, so let us know. But these real examples from past first time homebuyers are really going to help you connect better with tomorrow's buyers because it shows them that it's something that really is achievable. One other thing I'd like to point out here is to note that they are co-marketing this page with their lender partner. This is such a great idea. I highly suggest working smart with your lenders and agents together who do these programs well, right? Team up. You know, if you're an agent and you're not as savvy or familiar with DPA programs, make sure to lean on a loan officer that you know who is because they can help you as well as helping your home buyer. And then you look like the hero because you've got this incredibly intelligent and knowledgeable loan officer that you were able to suggest for that buyer and help them move along this process to getting into a home. So work together. That same Minnesota team also posts educational videos for aspiring buyers. This main video on the screen highlights how buyers can find a participating lender. In fact, all of the videos this team produces are short and to the point. Make sure to keep it simple, and you can even break down DPAs into shorter videos and make a whole series out of it, right? But all of these videos on here are usually around a minute long, and those are really great because people will flood through, 10 1-minute videos quickly, right? And they'll do all of those in a row, but they might see a 10-minute video and be like, oh, I don't have time for that right now, right? So if you do the shorter videos, you can usually get a little bit more eyes and attention on those. So sticking with social media, here's a couple of great examples from Instagram. Bo in Florida tells his audience about DPAs and to stop second guessing themselves. This is such a great message because so many people will second guess themselves and not even start the process of trying to reach out to an agent or a loan officer and seeing what might be possible because they talk themselves out of it, right? So I love that because it's trying to get the attention of people, let them know that you don't need to second guess yourself. Just reach out and let me see what I can do to help you. John in California tells his Instagram audience that there's help out there for people who are worried they'll never have enough down payment saved up. We hear that all the time, and I'm sure you guys do too, that you hear people struggling with having enough money saved up and thinking that that's not going to be possible either at all or for a long time. And what these solutions do is they give them an option to either expedite the process and make it so that they don't have to wait several years more to save up more money, but they can actually find a home now. Or for some people that think they'll never be able to get ahead of the game and get enough money saved up, this could be the solution to make it possible ever, right? So make sure you're utilizing language like this and reaching those in the public that need to hear that, right? Also, I do want to point out that both of these leveraged hashtags and use tools like Linktree, which you can add to your down payment connect to your Instagram bio and things like that as well. But let buyers know that there's help out there and that you are the person who can help connect them to that help. TikTok engagement. This is so big now. I feel like a lot of people, professionals, are utilizing TikTok to get that attention and to get some eyes on business related matters. And one of those things is definitely down payment assistance. And what I love that she did here is she did a tiny little video that just informed people about how to buy your first home in Texas with using down payment assistance. So she was specifically talking in that area. You can do that in general. You can put a video out there about a specific part of the process, whatever you feel is going to get some engagement and some awareness um, from the eyes and ears in your area. Make sure to utilize that. TikTok, I think, is definitely big for that. I said earlier you can use LinkedIn and Linktree, so here's a couple examples there. But also, I want to point out on LinkedIn this fun little post, which, by the way, this is one of our stock images. We have a lot of stock images that you've seen on the slide deck today. You can get to all of those too in our marketing resources. But this is one of my favorites because I'm an animal lover. And I love this post in general because it's speaking to people like me who love their pets so much and including them in that home buying process. And I will say, think outside the box about things that people find important to them, right? So in this case, their pets, their animals, right? Making sure that they're finding the right home for them as well, right? And so keep in mind things like that are very attention grabbing for the right audience as well, because I will stop to see a cute little puppy on my screen for sure. Okay, so these were some of the options in the slide deck. Now I'm going to switch live and I'm going to show you a few live examples. So let me get this minimized here and let's go through a few of these. So I have up here on the screen Suncoast Realty Solutions. And in there or on their page, it's super simple. If you hover over buy, you can see that down payment assistance is one of their options there. If you were to click on that, then you would be able to fill out the eligibility search, right? I'm going to show you this real quick, what this looks like. So if you, as a home buyer, if you were clicking on the eligibility search that you guys would have, and you go to this page, it's going to be customized to you. In this particular case, it's for Brandy, but at minimum, I need to fill out where I want to move to. It can be a specific address. In most cases, early in the process, they don't know where they're going to move to, but they know an area. They might know a specific county or a specific city or something like that. So you can start to punch in the location. In this case, Butler Beach. And there are 23 programs available in that specific area that this person has approved in their portal. And then you can plug in any other specific information about yourself as the buyer, or if you're doing it on behalf of that buyer, you can plug in their information. Maybe I'm looking for a multi-unit home, right? Then I can click on one of those. If I know what my estimated sales price is, that could be further refining my results. As you can see, if I purchase a house for 350, then that knocked off a couple programs that it exceeded purchase price limits for, right? Current home ownership status. If I currently own a home, in that case, there's still 7 programs available, right? So this is just going to show you how not only this tool is adjusting the results based on what you plug in here, but also I want to point out one of the biggest myths is that people think that down payment assistance programs are only available for first-time homebuyers, and that just goes to show you they're not, right? Because there are still several programs available to assist. You can plug in your income, and then also sometimes some of these will produce additional programs that could help you. Like as an example, if you're a veteran or if you have a certain profession, maybe for my brother, he's a firefighter, so I'd plug that in for him to see if there's any additional programs and things like that. But once they're done filling all this out, you click on get details, and what happens is the consumer will see the total number of programs and the maximum assistance amount for the highest paying of those programs, which, by the way, some programs can be stacked and used together so that you can use more than one program, increasing that down payment assistance amount and getting more and more for those home buyers. Okay. So this is letting them know how many are available at that max assistance amount, telling them to fill out their contact information and click on get program details. When they do that, that's when a lead comes to you. It's going to come to your email and you're going to be able to see that in this case, Tracy Thomas filled out the eligibility search form, and this is the area she's wanting to move to, and so on and so forth. And these are the programs available. From there, you reach out and you just check in with them and say, hey, I saw that you're interested in purchasing a home in this area, and whatever other details show up on that eligibility search results that they put on there, and start making those steps of helping guide them from there. If you're an agent and you're not familiar with those down payment programs, you don't have to be. This is a great spot for you to be like, do you already have a loan officer you're working with? And if they do, say, can I send these results to them so that they can start to investigate and see which of these might be a great fit for you? Okay. If they don't, This is a great opportunity to connect them with somebody that you're familiar with, that's really savvy with DPAs, and will take really great care of them and help guide them through the loan process entirely, but also with including DPAs. Okay. They're also going to get an email. It's more of a confirmation email that's going to have your contact information and let them know that you're going to be in contact with them soon. And they'll see a list of all of those programs as well in theirs. Okay. So that's how the process works. Now, let's go through a few other examples of how you can display this. And once again, make these your own. These are just things that are existing live out there that I can just show you a few examples, right? And maybe kind of get your brain thinking about ways that might be best for you. For this one in Oklahoma, they have it so that once you go to this page, a pop-up immediately shows up saying that down payment programs are available, and click the link below, which is this Down Payment Connect link. Once again, this is going to give the same results as if I clicked on that other one and filled out that eligibility search form, right? It's just going to take me to their own custom page of that, okay? But the same results will happen where that lead gets sent and all of that. But this is a great option because it's just immediately right there um, for everybody to see. Now, here's an example for a loan officer on their bio page. You can do this as an agent as well. If you have a bio page on your website or something like that, you can certainly do something like this. But they have one of our logos hyperlinked with their own personal eligibility search form so that if a consumer clicks on that, they're going to go straight to that page. Okay. Here's another example of someone's website where they specifically really want to dive into down payment assistance programs. So they have a couple of links right here. One is this one, down payment resource. If you click on that, it's going to take you straight to their eligibility search page. Or there's a couple of resources drop down here, Utility Connect, and then once again, our down payment resource eligibility search page. So that's how they have it incorporated on their website. This one is a page where they've kind of dove into a little bit of information about down payment assistance programs, going over what are some of the benefits of down payment assistance, right? So, what are some of the reasons why you would want to use it? Also, how can I benefit from down payment assistance, right? And then maybe let's get started, right? And then they have a link up here for the available programs. If you click on that, you're going to go to their eligibility search, fill that out, and see what DPA programs are going to be a good match for you. Here's another option I have for Charlotte, North Carolina. This one's interesting because they have a page, just their main page here. It's not only introducing you to their staff, but also there's upcoming events and ads and things like that for people to interact with. And this one is a link to their eligibility search page as well, so that you can see what down payment money is available for you. Now, lastly, I'm going to show you a couple of different options on social media. And in here, I just did a general search, finding anybody that's using that eligibility search link. And here's just a couple that came up for me real quick, okay? So one here, this is a video. And I love this because it's a short little video. You can see it's like 35 seconds long. It's really short, but these are always attention getting and people like to watch them. But he's highlighting the fact that there are so many down payment assistance programs out there to help people purchase a home that people don't even know about, right? So not only is he telling people about that in his video and in his content here, but he's also giving you the link to his eligibility search page so that you can find out what programs are available for you. Here's another one. It looks like it's a short little thing. It's just a screenshot of their eligibility search page, but you can also see they've highlighted a whole bunch of hit points here, right? If you've been saying, I don't have enough saved, I'll buy next year, home ownership isn't realistic right now, you need to pause because there are solutions out there for you, right? And then once again, they have that eligibility search link available right there, okay? I'll show you a couple more here real quick. One of the biggest hurdles for home buyers is the down payment. And the good news is that there's help available and you can purchase a home much sooner than you may think. So once again, they have their link, a little image here. This is a stock image of ours as well. I've told you we have lots of stock images that you guys can use. And that's what she did right here. She just grabbed one of our stock images and threw a little bit of content on there. But there's lots of options on here that you can utilize, and these are just a few examples. One last thing that I want to show you is this is a video, like a multi-part series of videos educating future home buyers. And one of the parts of her series is specifically on down payment assistance, right? This video is a little longer. It's a little over 9 minutes long, but each of her videos are really breaking down information about the home purchasing process. And also, not only can you watch this video and learn a little bit, but at the end, you see she's included that link to her eligibility search so that people can fill that out and then they can see what programs work for them. Okay, so those are some of my live examples. Let me go back here to this deck and we're gonna continue on. I have just a few more slides and then we're gonna get to some live Q&A in just a moment. So in my role here at Down Payment Resource, I speak with agents across the country very regularly, and I'm learning all the time how they're using our tools in these ways to help aspiring home buyers. But the biggest thing I'll say is don't be afraid of down payment assistance options and instead use it as leverage to help you stand out among the rest with this helpful advantage, right? There is a lot of opportunity for you to stand out by using DPAs and being aware and not scared to talk about DPA options. You don't have to be an expert on DPAs. You just have to be able to help guide them and let them know that there are options out there. So here's a quick recap of ways that I've shown you today that can assist you in this, as well as a few other ideas. So the first one is the email signature. I can't stress this enough because you can do this without much lift at all. And it's really just a one and done, high impact bit of effort. So make sure you're adding a graphic or hyperlinking some text with your eligibility search link in your email signature. If one of your listings is eligible, make sure you market that listing with program information. You can highlight things like how many programs are available at that property or the assistance amount, the highest amount available at that location. You can even print out program information and have it available at open houses. Facebook ads allow you to target your specific market and they give you great reports on the number of clicks, views, etc. And it can help you test the interest in the content. Also, add your Down Payment Connect as your Instagram profile link. In your Instagram post, you can direct buyers to click on the link in your profile. Educational content is really such a great plus. Buyers are doing more and more research in advance. So use keywords like down payment help in your city name, and many buyers will search for things like down payment assistance in Cincinnati, right? Add a first-time homebuyer section on your website. Many have a for buyers page, but make sure you're really speaking to that audience that you want to reach. Use words like first-time homebuyers or new buyers, and also explainer videos on your website and social media can really add a lot of value. Everyone is busy, and those videos just make it so much easier to take in the information and digest it all. Also, you can host virtual homebuyer events, co-host with referral partners, such as loan officers that are experienced with DPAs. And don't forget along the way to reach back out to your target audience through ongoing drip marketing campaigns because some of these buyers may not be ready right now, but by sending valuable information and connecting them to other homebuyer education or resources that can help them, you're really going to be top of mind for them when they are ready. And finally, leverage the experts available to you. Remember, you don't have to be an expert in down payment assistance. Make sure you're leaning on the HFAs and lenders, partner up with them, right? So here are a few tips with that. Find participating lenders for each program in the program details section. When you receive a lead, you're going to be able to click on details for any of those programs and see who the list of participating lenders are from that program provider right there, right? So you can lean on that, you can look into that right there. And then ask the lenders that you're currently partnered with what programs that they're eligible to work with so that you know who to recommend for them whenever you're speaking to a home buyer that needs to utilize DPAs. Connect with your state and local HFAs, nonprofits, and employers to find out what resources they might offer for agents and what other classes they offer. And on any of your website content, blog, or social media, make sure to highlight information about local programs and use those keywords along the way. And lastly, I'd suggest taking a first time homebuyer class. Most of these programs do require that the homebuyer take a first time homebuyer education class. So if you join in with one of those, then you'll kind of get a little bit of idea for what they're learning, what they're interested in, and you can relay that along the way to your future homebuyers as well. So it's really nice to be a part of that. We would absolutely love if you join us in our growing Facebook group called Down Payment Insiders. There you can join over 13,000 real estate agents, loan officers, housing counselors, and even DPA providers as they're discussing best practices with DPAs, first time home buyers, working with lenders, learning from each other, marketing ideas, and so much more. This is really a great place to network and connect with loan officers as well that are offering DPAs in your market. Like I said before, this is the number one question we get asked is where do I find a loan officer familiar with DPAs to partner up with? And so that's a really great place to do so as well. So lastly here, I want to introduce you to a couple of successful agents that are utilizing DPAs that we actually met on our Facebook community page that I just showed you. Raul Rowe is a veteran, and he understood firsthand the challenges that other veterans face with homeownership and decided to become an expert on DPA programs specific to veterans in the state of Texas. You saw a couple of his ideas earlier, but he took time to dive into those programs so that he could understand them well and now utilizes that knowledge to assist other veterans looking to purchase a home. And Amber Bennett works with peers of hers that are all first time homebuyers. She decided to dive into the details of DPAs so she could become an expert that homebuyers can turn to for reliable guidance on the ways in which they could get into a home without having to have a huge down payment saved up first. So she really found other loan officers to partner with who were like minded and did DPAs well. And like Amber's clients, I'll tell you, DPA customers become customers for life. Make sure you're telling their stories and that when you help them, they will refer their family members, their friends, their coworkers, anybody. They're going to refer them to you. They're also going to come back to you if they need to purchase another home later on. So if you're here, you can probably relate to these DPR power users. They're really both just aiming to serve their own communities well. And in their cases, they're new buyers and veterans. They saw a real need in their market and they became a hero to their clients by becoming experts and knowledgeable in this field. So thank you all so much for joining us today. I do want to make sure to point out on the screen, we have our email address, info@downpaymentresource.com. Lori, can you drop that email address in chat as well in case people need to copy that? But you can also find quarterly and monthly reports on our website, which I have on here, the downpaymentresource.com. So that information, I'm going to keep it on the screen, but now let's go ahead and go to maybe some live questions and go through a little bit of that. But first, I do want to point out for those of you that may have joined us after I first started, we are recording this session and a copy of it will be emailed over to you. It will likely be Monday before you receive that because it takes a while to process all of it, but you'll get it in your inbox, the same email address you used to register for today. So let me go ahead. I'm going to move over to Lori. Lori, are there any specific questions that we should address live? Any trends with questions that we should address?
There was a ton of action going on here, so I just wanted to say thank you everyone for all your questions. Most of it, predominantly people are wanting to know where they find a lender in their area, where to find a lender, and I've answered a few people, but I just wanted to reiterate that once your customer or whoever fills out the form and you receive that lead, or if you're looking for a lender that works with the DPA that your customer is interested in, the best way is to look at the website of the actual DPA provider, and there you should be able to find a list of their approved lenders. And so that would be a good way to find a lender. We don't actually provide a list of lenders. So we had a lot of people asking, can I have a list for this person? Like, I think the first question was, I'm in Seattle, Washington, so they want a list of lenders, but it doesn't work that way. So hopefully that helps. Uh, I missed the very beginning. How does this down payment assistance differ from all the programs that other lenders not in your list? Not
Oh,
sure.
I think
Yeah.
let me address that. So we don't have our own down payment assistance program. We're not offering a specific program. So when you're saying that other lenders offer and things like that, we actually have a database of over 2,600 programs that we manage and we maintain the data on that. And actually, lots of lenders utilize our database to monitor and keep up with all the different options for programs out there. So we're not talking about a specific down payment assistance program today. We're talking about the DPA programs as a whole that are available out there. So that's what we track and we monitor in here. And MLSs, lenders tap into that resource and utilize it. Thanks, Lori. I'm going to look in chat. Also, for Keith and Lisa, are there any questions or anything you guys want to add?
Hey Tracy, really nothing to add, just the question on stacking, just multiple programs that kept popping up. That's a great question that anytime you can use multiple programs together with the first mortgage, it's just going to help your borrower's buying power. So just kind of wanted to drop that. That was a really good question.
Thanks, Keith. And also, I noticed that you dropped the HUD's online search for homebuyer education courses in chat. Thanks for giving that to everybody. I know that's really helpful to people. So make sure if you saw Keith's post in there, it looks like it was timestamped at 1:47 Eastern time. That link is really great because you can search and find what HUD approved specific courses are available in that area. Oh, I see you've added more here. Okay, way to go, Keith. You're on it. Uh, Trying to look and see if there's any other lingering questions. Yes, you will be getting a copy of the recording. No problem that you missed part of it if you did. We will be emailing you the recording, the slide deck, everything. You'll have that in your inbox probably on Monday because it'll take a little while for it to process, but you'll likely get it on Monday. And then let's see, I think a few more questions came into Q&A here. So a great question. Are there DPA? It says it's an anonymous attendee, so I don't know who to call out here, but the question is, are there DPAs for buyers who care for kids with special medical needs and conditions, please? I know that there are definitely some programs out there. First of all, programs, the general programs are available to anybody, whether they're caring for somebody with special needs or not, right? These programs are available for anybody who matches their requirements, which could be various different things, but sometimes it's like income and purchase price for the property and things like that, you know. But there are sometimes some special programs out there for specific professions, for people who have been in the military, for people with special needs, some disabilities and things like that. So if those people are living in the home, there are certainly some programs out there for that. Now, Keith and Lisa, they work on our operations team, so they are managing and monitoring these programs. So they may be able to speak more to this than I can. So I don't know if there are programs out there that are specific to somebody who's caring for people with specific needs that don't live in the home. So I don't know if that's what you meant or not, but I don't know about that. But you can certainly use some other programs anyway.
There are specific programs that have incentives for people with disabilities and healthcare workers and all sorts of different special occupations. So that could be, part of their search.
Perfect. Thanks, Lisa. Do you know if any of those allow for someone to use the program if they're just caring for somebody with special needs that doesn't live in the home?
I don't believe so. I think it would have to be
Okay.
the special needs disability.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for clarifying that. Um, uh, Paulo, it looks like the question you said is the information here can be found anywhere with other lenders. So there, the information we're providing you today, some of it for sure can be available. Lenders can certainly educate you on some down payment assistance programs. I will note that not all lenders work with DPAs, and the ones that do have various DPAs that they will and won't work with. So that's going to vary from one lender to another as far as the specifics of which DPA programs they utilize. So you can certainly get some education, some specific education from them on the DPAs that they do work with. You can find a lot of educational content on our website. So I suggest going to downpaymentresource.com and you can scroll over the different tabs in the top of our navigation bar, and you can find some educational content that you can either just use for yourself or you can share as well publicly, like with your home buyers that you're working with as well. Okay, I don't think that I see any others. Oh, these, never mind. I see Keith answered it. Oh, okay. I see Tina. It looks like you're with HAR, Houston, Association of Realtors. You can definitely, you are one of our MLS partners, so you have our tool available to you for free. We are integrated with the MLSs in two different ways. One, you can see us on the listings that have DPA available. You'll see the flag, the DPA eligible flag on those listings when the property is a match with DPA programs. That's just going to let you know about the DPAs that are a match for that property, not for a specific buyer. However, the home buyers can click on that link on those properties and fill out their own home buyer criteria to see what programs they would be a match for, that property also is a match for. So they can utilize it there, but you also have access to our Down Payment Connect tool through HAR. So if you on their member homepage, I can't remember off the top of my head because they're all different, but you can usually find down payment resource, the button to get to your down payment connect page. You can find that under resources usually, or I think it's additional services that you can find it on there. But look for down payment resource. And once you click on that, you're going to go to your own custom page that shows you a lot of information. You can get the marketing resources and you can find your eligibility search link. It's ready for you. Anybody that is attending today that's part of our MLS partners, you have these tools available for you. You don't have to do anything to turn them on. They're just waiting for you to use them. So make sure to look around on there. And then it looks like I think that I have covered pretty much all of these. If you guys have any other questions, we do have to go ahead and wrap this up because we are right at time. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to email us at the info@downpaymentresource.com, and someone from our team will be happy to help you guys. Otherwise, keep an eye out for our next session coming up next month where we'll dive into some DPA specific details. So today's session was all about learning how to utilize this tool that we have available for people. But in our other two sessions coming up next month and the month after, it's about understanding the differences and the nuances with different DPA programs. So you can certainly join those. They're also free sessions. You can join in and just become a little bit more educated on DPA programs. So I hope to see you guys on those. We have Will presenting for those two upcoming webinars, and he's fantastic and has a lot of great information to relay. So I hope to see you guys then, and thank you so much for joining us today. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.